Hello, friends. Very good morning to all of you. I hope you all are safe at your place. And today I am here with the chapter number 6, the 100 Dresses, part 2, the remaining portion of this lesson number 6, and how the story goes of Venda Petronsky that we will see in this chapter. Okay, I hope you liked it. Okay, so we come to the part number 2, the 100 Dresses by Elbor Esther, and we will start with this remaining part of your chapter number 6, part 2. Okay, here weeks went by and still Vanda did not answer. Peggy had begun to forget the whole business, and Maddie put herself to sleep at night, making speeches about Vanda, defending her from great crowds of girls who were trying to tease her with how many dresses have you got. And before Vanda could press her lips together in a tight line, the way she did before answering, Maddie would cry out, "Stop!" Then everybody would feel ashamed the way she used to feel. Okay, now there was no reply from Vanda, but they didn't also receive the letter back. Thus, they conclude that it must have reached to Vanda, but she was so upset that she didn't answer. They waited for weeks, but still no answer. Peggy began to forget about this whole thing, while Maddie used to make scenarios in her head before sleeping where she defended Vanda. She thought of scenarios where large group of girls surrounded Vanda and would ask her, "How many dresses have you got?" And as soon as anyone could say more, Vanda would interrupt and say, "Stop," so that all of them could end up ashamed. So now Peggy is easily forgot the thing because she can't feel guilt or whatever she has done with the Vanda. But similarly, Maddie suffering from such a guilt, and that is why she used to make a scenario in her scenarios in her head before sleeping, and she also dream the thing that girls surrounded by Vanda and asking such a stupid question, "How many dresses you have got?" And suddenly Maddie came uh, um, and shout that, "Stop!" And then everybody felt ashamed. Now it was Christmas time, and there was snow on the ground. Christmas bells and a small tree decorated the classroom. On the last day of school before the holidays, the teacher showed the class a letter she had received that morning. It was a winter season, and there was snow everywhere on the ground. Christmas had come, so they decorated their classroom with bells and a small tree. And that day, Miss Mason told the students that she had received a letter from Vanda's Petronsky. So now the Christmas day was there. So children decorated their classroom with bells and small tree of this Christmas tree, and they all are enjoying. And at that time, Miss Mason told the students that she had received a letter from Vanda Petronsky. You remember Vanda Petronsky, the gifted little artist who won the drawing contest? Well, she has written me, and I am glad to know where she lives because now I can send her medal. I want to read her letter to you. Okay? And Miss Mason received the a letter from Vanda Petronsky. She is very happy to receive it because now she can send the medal too, and she really wants to read that letter in front of the students. Okay, so this is the letter. Dear Miss Mason, how are you and room 13? Please tell the girls they can keep those 100 dresses because in my new house I have 100 new ones all lined up in my closet. I would like that girl Peggy to have the drawing of the green dress with a red trimming, and her friends Maddie to have the blue one for Christmas. I miss that school and my new teachers does not equalize with you. Merry Christmas to you and everybody. Yours truly, Vanda Petronsky. Now this is the Vanda's letter to the Miss Mason. The letter began in a very friendly tone. Vanda asked how everyone was and that they could keep her 100 dresses because in her new house she has another lot of 100 dresses lined up in her closet. She specifically mentioned the dress she wanted Maddie and Peggy to take home. The green dress with red trimmings was for Peggy, while the blue one was for Maddie. She expressed her affection towards Miss Mason and wrote her new teacher could never replace Miss Mason. Never replace Miss Mason. She winded up a letter by wishing everyone Merry Christmas and also wrote that she missed everyone in room number 13. So she gave a good and a lovely reply to them, though they behave very badly, though she hadn't any issue and query regarding their behavior. She lovingly accept all the things, all the persons, and she also gifted two dresses, one for Peggy and another for Maddie. This green and red one for Peggy and this blue one for Maddie. On the way home from school, Maddie and Peggy held their drawings very carefully. All the house had wreaths and holly in the windows. Outside the grocery store, hundreds of Christmas trees were stacked in the window. Candy, peppermint stickers, and cornucopias of shiny transparent paper were strung. Cornucopias. It's a kind of thing which decorative containers are there, usefully containing flowers and fruits, which is you can also show in this image too. Of shiny transparent paper were strung. The air smelled like Christmas and light shining everywhere reflected different colors on the snow. Boy, said Peggy, this shows she really liked us. It shows she got our letter and this is her way of saying that everything's all right. And that's that. I hope so, said Maddie sadly. She felt sad because she knew she would never see the little tight-lipped Polish girl again and couldn't ever really make things right between them. So now holly means a shrub having prickly dark green leaves, small white flowers and red berries. It is used in Christmas decoration, which is also you can see in this picture, this with a green leaves and a red berry. Okay, so it was Christmas season and all the houses were decorated. Grocery stores were stocked with the Christmas trees, candy, peppermint sticks and the other Christmas stuff. The atmosphere was colorful and joyful. Maddie and Peggy took home the drawings very carefully. When Peggy realized that this gesture implied that Vanda liked them, they also assumed that she got their letter and everything was peaceful between them, because she replied their letter very lovingly, very calmly. So that is why Maddie, on the other hand, was quite sad because she would never be able to see that polished, tight-lipped girl again, and she would never get a chance to make amends, or won't be able to. She won't be able to help her, or she won't be able to make stands again for stand again for that. So she has that guilt and in her, and that is why she was sad. She went home and she pinned her drawing over a torn place in the pink flowered wallpaper in the bedroom. The shabby room came alive from the brilliancy of the colors. Maddie sat down on her bed and looked at the drawing. She had stood by and said nothing, but Vanda had been nice to her anyway. So, as soon as Maddie reached home, she displayed her drawing on the part of the wall from where her pink flowered wallpaper was slightly torn. Maddie's room was shabby too, but the drawing made it lovely. She she stared at the drawing constantly and thought how nice Vanda had been to them and how beautiful it is, and she is, though they do wrong with her, though they did wrong with her, though she is very nice towards them. Tears blurred her eyes and she gazed for a long time at the picture. Then harshly she rubbed her eyes and studied it intensely. The colors in the dress were so vivid that she had scarcely noticed the face and head of the drawing, but it looked like her Maddie. It really looked like her own mouth. Why, it really looked like her own self. Vanda had really drawn this for her exactly. Excitedly, she ran over to Peggy. Now, while staring at the drawing Vanda had given her, Maddie's vision got blurred from tears. She rubbed her eyes and noticed that Vanda had actually drawn Maddie's face along with the dress. The color of the dress was so bright and vibrant that the face was hardly visible. Maddie got excited and ran towards Peggy to check if she had noticed it too or not. So she was excited. Okay, the dress was not only for me, but the face was also for me. So she really actually imagined that dress for Maddie only, and that is why she was too excited and she directly ran towards the Peggy to check if she had noticed this or not. Peg, she said, let me see your picture. What's the matter? Asked Peggy as they clattered up to her room where Vanda's drawing was laying face down on the bed. Maddie carefully raised it. Look, she drew you. That's you, she exclaimed. And the head and the face of this picture did look like Peggy. Okay, so as soon as she reached Peggy's house, she asked her for the picture. The drawing was laying upside down on the bed. Maddie raised it, and yes, it was Peggy in that drawing. Both were left in shock and awe at the same time. So she go at Peggy's home. She brought that picture, and she realized that particular dress was also prepared for Peggy, and she also see the face of Peggy in that picture, and that is why she was excited and said yes, it was Peggy in that drawing, and both were left in shock and oh, that at the same time they feel guilty that okay, she always took us in a really good manner, in a really good way, and but we misunderstand her, and we behave or we ill treat her in such a bad or a rude manner. Peg, she said, let me see your picture. What's the matter? Asked Peggy as they clattered up to her room where Vanda's drawing was laying face down on the bed. Maddie carefully raised it. Look, she drew you. That's you, she exclaimed, and the head and face of this picture did look like Peggy. So, as I told you that as soon as she reached Peggy's house, she asked her for her picture. The drawing was laying upside down on the bed, and Maddie raised it and says, yes, she drew you. You were in that picture, and she is always being nice to them, though they were being rude to her. What did I say? Said Peggy. She must have really liked us anyway. Yes, she must have, agreed Maddie, and she blinked away the tears that came every time she thought of Vanda standing alone in the sunny spot in the schoolyard, looking stolidly over at the group of laughing girls after she had walked off, after she had said, "Sure, 100 of them all lined up." And Peggy exclaimed that she was right about the thought that Vanda liked them. Maddie, whose eyes get filled with tears every time she recalled that scene where Vanda would look at the girls laughing at her, also agreed with Peggy that okay, she is really like she really liked them very much, and always she took care of their feelings, but they won't be able to take care of Vanda's feeling, and that is why they have one kind of satisfaction that Vanda liked her, but at the similar time they have a guilt that they won't be able to protect her, or they won't be able to make their relations nice with Vanda Petronsky, and they are filled with joy that Vanda have forgotten them and she liked them. I hope you enjoy this lesson, and to sum up this lesson, I would like to request all the students that be honest with the with your friends regarding or carrying the things that what background they belong, what culture they belong. It doesn't matter. The only matterable thing is that if he is a human and you are a human, then every human has a right to get respect from the other person, and it is their right and it is our duty to give them respect, so we can also gain respect from them. Friendship is such a beautiful thing, and one shouldn't have right to insult anyone according or regarding uh, their culture, their belongingness, their way of living. It doesn't matter. The inner beauty of person is really important, so always focus on the beauty of a person, inner beauty of a person, rather than the physical beauty of a person. If they treat Vanda well, then they can also learn something from her, because she is very skilled, very good artist, gifted artist, as Miss Mason said, and they lose the chance to be with such a person, and they can learn from her, okay, and they can be a good friend of her, but they miss that chance. And at last, Peggy, it's okay, but Maddie, who is the real sufferer of regret, won't be able to get chance to say sorry or amends to Vanda, because of Vanda lived that place by suffering this kind of constant this taunt kind of a thing from their school. So every time we must remember that every human has emotions, and we don't have any right to hurt them without any reason. With reason we also think about that, but without reason, without any kind of thing, we don't have right to hurt such a person, rather they are our family members, or rather they are unknown persons or friends. I hope you enjoy this lesson. I hope you learn lots of things from this, and if you have any kind of a query, then then we will continue it with in our next lecture. I hope you enjoy this. I hope you enjoy this lecture. We will meet you. We will see you tomorrow. Bye bye.